The World Cup is supposed to be the greatest sporting event on Earth. Every 4 years, the entire planet stops. Billions of people watch. Fans travel across oceans just to be part of it. But in 2026, the greatest show on Earth might become the greatest scandal in football history. We're talking corruption at the highest levels. A FIFA president who is best friends with the US president. Tickets that cost more than a car, and immigration rules so brutal that fans from qualifying countries can't even get into the country. This is why World Cup 2026 might go down as the worst World Cup ever. Let's start at the top, because the rot starts at the head. President Donald Trump appointed himself chairman of the US task force organizing the World Cup, not an ambassador, not a sports official. The actual sitting president of the United States. And it gets weirder fast. At the Club World Cup final last summer in New Jersey, Chelsea lifted the trophy. But the real winner's trophy wasn't there. Trump had already taken it for the Oval Office. Chelsea were handed a replica. FIFA called it a gift. And while all this was happening, Trump was filmed pocketing one of the championship medals, just tucking it into his suit jacket on the podium in front of everyone. Now, the World Cup offices have been set up inside Trump Tower in Manhattan, the same building where, a decade ago, the FBI launched the biggest corruption investigation in football history, the one that brought down 9 FIFA officials and 5 corporate executives for bribery, racketeering, and money laundering. To run the operation, Trump appointed Andrew Giuliani, son of Rudy Giuliani, and this whole operation sits under Kristi Noem's Department of Homeland Security. Ask yourself, why does the Department of Homeland Security have anything to do with organizing a football tournament? Because this World Cup is not just a football tournament, it never was. Now, the man who made all of this possible, FIFA President Gianni Infantino. Infantino didn't just let Trump take over, he celebrated it. At the official World Cup draw ceremony in Washington, D.C. in December 2025, Infantino presented Donald Trump with the first ever FIFA Peace Prize, a peace prize. One teacher who watched the draw live put it perfectly. I was so excited about watching it, and after about 20 or 30 minutes, it felt fake to me. I wanted it to be about soccer, but it just wasn't. That says everything. And it's not just optics. FIFA has a budget of $3.75 billion for 2026. But specific expenses, not detailed. How costs are split between FIFA, host nations, and cities, not disclosed. FIFA refused to answer journalists' questions repeatedly. The White House refused to say how much rent Trump Organization is being paid for the World Cup offices. That is not transparency. That is a closed shop. This is the same FIFA that paid out billions in bribery tied to the 2010, 2018, and 2022 World Cups. Okay, let's say you get past all the politics. You just want to watch the football. Good luck affording it. For the first time in World Cup history, FIFA is using dynamic pricing. Tickets rise and fall based on demand, like airline seats or concert tickets. The problem? This is not a concert. This is the World Cup. The numbers. The cheapest group stage ticket is $1,400. Category 1 premium seats, $5,400 for a group stage game. The final? Resale tickets on FIFA's own official platform have hit nearly $11,000. On the wider secondary market, some listings have topped $2 million for a pair of seats. And here's the thing, FIFA takes a 30% cut of every official resale. The more scalpers charge, the more FIFA earns. There is zero incentive for them to lower prices. Peter Moore, the former CEO of Liverpool FC, asked the obvious question, how are regular fans from Brazil, Colombia, Africa going to afford to travel when it's $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 per ticket? Who's got that kind of money? For context, the last time the World Cup was in the US, 1994, the cheapest equivalent ticket cost $50. Adjusted for inflation, that's about $112 today. The cheapest equivalent ticket in 2026, $700 face value. That is a 525% real terms increase. US lawmakers wrote to FIFA demanding lower prices. A European supporters group filed a formal complaint with the European Commission. FIFA responded by releasing a small batch of $60 tickets through national federations, a fraction of total inventory. And beyond the tickets, hotel prices in host cities surged 300% after the December draw. A Dallas downtown hotel was listed at $600 a night. Train tickets from New York Penn Station to MetLife Stadium, normally under $13 return, are expected to exceed $100 on match days. Public transport in Massachusetts is quadrupling fares. The most expensive city to attend? Boston. Estimated total trip cost of nearly $9,000 per person for a single match trip. So let's say you've saved the money. You have the ticket, the flight, the hotel. Now you need to actually get into the United States. And for a massive part of the world, that is where the dream ends. The Trump administration has issued travel bans on nationals from 39 countries. From those countries, you cannot obtain a tourist visa for the US full stop. Of the 48 teams at this World Cup, 4 have their fans directly blocked. Côte d'Ivoire, Haiti, Iran, and Senegal. Think about what that means for Haiti. They qualified for the World Cup for the first time in over 50 years. Their fans want to be there. The US government says no. Beyond the outright bans, as of April 2026, citizens from 50 countries must now pay a bond of up to $15,000 just to be issued a tourist visa. 5 World Cup qualifying nations are included: Algeria, Cabo Verde, Côte d'Ivoire, Senegal, and Tunisia. You want to attend a football match? Hand over $15,000 first as a deposit. Travelers from 42 more countries face 5-year social media surveillance checks before entry. One German fan, Steve Schwartzbach, has attended every World Cup since 2006, South Africa, Brazil, Russia, Qatar. He abandoned this one despite already owning $1,600 quarterfinal and semifinal tickets. His reason, ICE raids and fear that his mixed German-Korean heritage might trigger extra scrutiny at the border. FIFA created a FIFA Pass, a priority visa appointment system for ticket holders, but it guarantees nothing. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio made it explicit. Your ticket is not a visa, it doesn't guarantee admission to the US. And then there's what happens after you arrive. ICE agents have been active across all World Cup host cities. One asylum seeker at the Club World Cup last summer was detained for a minor offense, handed to ICE, locked up for months, and deported, while his children watched him taken away in handcuffs. So here's where we are. A FIFA president who gave the host nation's president a peace prize and handed him a tournament to run from his own tower. Ticket prices up 525% in real terms since the last US World Cup. A travel ban blocking the fans of 4 qualifying nations. A $15,000 visa bond, social media surveillance. ICE in every host city, empty seats, slashed hotel prices, a UN corruption warning. And at the center of it all, 2 men who have decided the World Cup is not a festival of football. It's a business deal and a political backdrop. The fans who make this tournament what it is, the Brazilians, the Senegalese, the Colombians, the Mexicans, they're the afterthought. The World Cup belongs to them. To the people who paint their faces and cross oceans and sing for 90 minutes and cry in the stands. Not to the man in the Oval Office, not to the man in Zurich. When the cameras pan to the empty seats this summer, and they will, remember why they're empty. Follow the tournament with open eyes. Let me know in the comments. Are you going? Are you boycotting? Are you watching from home? Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.